What's up, you guys? So it's Wayani and welcome back to another one of my videos. This is going to be a self-care video and it is a highly requested video. It's my wash day routine. This is going to take a very long time. It is currently, Yanni, what time is it?
6:40.
It's currently 6:40. I won't be done until approximately 10 p.m., maybe 11. Yeah, let's get straight into it. First, let's take out whatever the heck is happening with my hair. Everybody thinks like, oh my God, Way has great hair days every day. And I'm like, no. So what I'm going to do now is just comb out whatever the heck. If you see anything that's like white in here that is not residue, I have gray hairs, a lot of them. My hair was already in need of a wash day, let alone whatever style I put in my hair yesterday. This was the style I did yesterday. I did it for a recent video. By the time that I film this, it should be up and like out there and ready. Go check that out in case you haven't, but it took a lot of gel to get that look. I have a lot of hair, so ponytails aren't options most of the time for me. That itch feels good. So what I like to do is I like to split my hair down the middle as best as I can, just to make sure I have like different sections. And I'm going to detangle and then put a deep conditioner in my hair. Now that I have this half done, I put it in a little bun. And I can put it in a bun. I can put it in a bun. I got my edges back. You remember that video? Yanni.
Girl, I was over here cracking up and I didn't realize I had muted myself.
Yeah, girl.
I thought you were calling me out for laughing.
No. You muted yourself. Hold on. Oh, no, he hung up. Too bad. Sorry. By the way, shout out to Tougher Than Nails. I will leave a code to get 15% off of anything on their website. They are an amazing organization that basically focuses on the fact that we are all super dope and we are all strong. That's such an appropriate thing to say, especially during this time because quarantine. I have in here a spray bottle full of a huge concoction between a whole bunch of oils, leave-in conditioner, regular conditioner, water, and that's it. So I'm gonna spray this all over until it's pretty damp and or manageable for me to be able to detangle my hairs. And then I do this like piece by piece. Normally, I deep condition my hair every week. If I don't, I can definitely feel that my hair is very upset. A lot of mistakes that people make and think is because like I have like a looser curl pattern that I'm just gonna start from the middle and just like drag my hair, and it's like, no, I have to start from the bottom. Sounds like I'm eating an apple in here. Oh my God. Woo. And I always use a wide tooth comb first to try to get as much of the knots and the loose hair out. People are always looking at like girls with a lot of hair and they comb out their hair and they're like, oh my God, they're losing hair. It's like, no, it's our strands are curly. When hair falls out, it doesn't just venture to like the ground, or it doesn't just come out of our hair. It sits in the hair and causes it to either frizz, gets matted with other parts of the hair strands that are still in our hair. So we have to really be careful and just take our time with how we treat our hair, because it's beautiful and it's a process. So for those of you who've just gone natural, don't feel worried like, oh my God, like, you know, it's not gonna be, it doesn't look like this person's. It is such a long process to take, and I commend you for starting it, because that is not an easy step to just even decide. Just stay patient and everything will work out. Like how this comb is gliding through my hair. You can even see the window in between it. Boom. This is how much of hair that, just from that one section, the hair is just like on my comb. Then what I do is I take a tangle teaser brush and get all the rest of the loose hairs that the comb could not get. And I just make sure everything is really combed through really well. And I love the tangle teaser because it's nice. It has like the different heights that helps it get through all the little knots. And it works really well for my hair. I know that specifically. I don't know that. I know people either like love or hate the tangle teaser, or they're like, no, not tangle teaser, but the Denman brush. And I'm like, listen, I use both. I don't know why it has to be either or. This is good. See, already like this much of amount of hair, it does make a difference in whether or not like I'm gonna have that much in the shower. All this is just to prevent a lot of work in the shower, because it takes forever just to even get this process done. Minimizing time is the name of the game when you are somebody with curly hair and trying to do a wash day. All right, so now for conditioner, I use Emergencia. I've been using this since I was a little kid. I used to get my hair done very, very often. When I mean done, I mean like roller sets, and the only thing that would be able to get my hair back to life is this. So I decided, hey, if it can work with heat damaged hair, it definitely can work with my hair after I go natural, and I just haven't turned back since. It's at any beauty supply store. This one has coconut oil in it. Once the beauty supply stores open back up, this was $25, but it's huge. Normally you can get the ones that are like this for maybe like $5. But $25, and this has lasted me since November. It's, what month is it? April. It's April, and we're just now getting past the halfway mark of it being almost done. All right, so I'm going to take this much amount for right now, just to see like how my hair is going to absorb the moisture, and just start in the nape of my neck, aka the kitchen, and then like really get onto the hair strands. I want to make sure that the ends are saturated, because that is the oldest part of your hair, so you need a little bit more love. You keep this in for an hour. It says 3 to 4 minutes. No such thing. There's no such thing as a 3 to 4 minute deep condition. So I get this all over my hair. Make sure it's really worked in there. This feels so good, you have no idea. And then after I decided like it's well saturated, I just 2-strand twist. I'm going to hurry up off camera, and I'm just basically going to do the same thing to the rest of this side of my head and here. So, yes. So now my hair is split into these sections. I'm gonna be just clipping them up so that way I can put a shower cap on my head, and I'm gonna be leaving this conditioner in for about an hour. I just put a clip at the top of my head so that way my ends can get the same amount of heat, or at least a close enough amount of heat as the roots of my head. Put this little shower cap on. And then what I do for a little added benefit is I put on a hat. Everyone who knows me, if they see me with any sort of hat on, it's because under here I'm cooking. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna check back in with you after I shampoo, conditioner, and I hop out the shower. Yeah, so that didn't happen. I ended up getting lazy and falling asleep with the deep conditioner in my hair and showering and washing it 3 hours later. By the time that I actually got out the shower, it was around 12:30 at night, so I definitely was exhausted. You see me with a t-shirt wrapped around my head because I don't use towels. It causes way too much frizz and it sucks out all of the moisture. Immediately after I get out the shower and my hair is soaking wet, I first use the Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum, and it basically locks in all of the moisture that I got from the conditioner I used in the shower. After that, I then put the Curl Enhancing Smoothie by Shea Moisture. This is my ride or die. It has worked even when my hair has evolved to hate certain products. It just is my go-to all the time. So I have layers in the front part of my head, and that's always the easiest part. So I always end up starting off in the back of my head. So now that I've just combed through the back of my head, what I like to do is I like to take a really small section in the back of my head, probably like closer to the nape of my neck, because that is the part that gets driest first. So I like to really pack that with moisture. And then I'm just going to clip the rest of the hair out of the way while I work on that piece. I split that piece in two, and then I focus on the tiny pieces that I have. So because I already have my hair coated with the Shea Moisture smoothie and the serum, I use the one to the right, the Olive Styling Gel by Fantasia IC. This is something I use all the time. Sometimes I use the white one when I run out of the olive oil version, but there's something about the olive oil one that just really does the trick for me. Then I use my little knockoff Denman brush to define my curls before I go in and use gel. Now, when I use the gel, I'm going to use just a little bit at first, and then I kind of see and gauge where it needs more moisture. I like to focus it on my ends and then really get inside of the roots. I know my ends most of the time need a lot of love, but for me, in the back of my head is my roots always get super frizzy, and then the end of my hair is always really curly. And while I do love the volume, this is going to last me for about a week and some change, sometimes if I'm lucky 2 weeks. So I want to really make sure everything is locked in while I'm doing this process. Now moving on to the next section, I'm going to be doing the same thing, but I'm going to really take smaller pieces, that way I can define each curl as best as I can. And I'm going to add a little bit more product because now, the hair, once it gets up and up and up, it, gets a little bit longer each time. So still, I start from the bottom of my hair, and then I rake the Denman brush through, and then I get the gel right at the roots, and then I put more at the ends, that way everything is really well coated. I know you guys are thinking like, oh my god, that is a lot of gel, but it really isn't. It doesn't weigh your hair down, and it is natural. It is what works for me. I have very thick hair. And I know that if I don't use enough product, or if I don't use enough gel, my hair will probably frizz out within the next 2 to 3 days. And I love to have my hair defined for a really long time before I even have to wash it again, because as you can see, this is a very long process. So anything that keeps me from having to wash my hair for a long period of time works great for me. I keep doing the same thing and the same process throughout the rest of the 3/4 of my hair. I take a section, enough so that way I can put enough gel on it, take a smaller piece of that section, rake through with the Denman brush, start it at the ends, put a little bit of gel at the roots, then I rake it through to my ends, and that is it, and I move on into the next section of my hair, and then it's all really nice and curly. So now that I finish the back half of my head, I now start on the front part, which is my layers, which is honestly my favorite part because it's so easy and I get to see all the curls in the front of my head, because although I know what I'm doing in the back of my head, it's nice to just see the progress happen right in front of your face. So with the front part of my head, I really like to take my time with it, because I know that this is the part that is going to be presented in front of everyone. I like to focus the gel kind of in the front part of my edges, and what you don't see also is I put castor oil on my edges. Now my edges haven't gone anywhere, but I just want to make sure that they don't go anywhere consistently. So it's the same process, but now I just take smaller pieces than before, and I rake that Denman brush through, put the gel in, and I keep it pushing. Now it's the same process with the very front part of my hair. So again, like I said, I have layers. So most of the time I'm going to have to separate a little bit of the curls, but I'm just combing through everything, making sure all the curls in different lengths are defined the same way. So you guys pretty much have the gist of it now. Same thing, same process. It's just, you have to pretty much have a really good relationship with your hair, and you have to understand what she needs, when she needs it. I know that my hair loves moisture because throughout the week I'm going to need it, on top of me re-moisturizing it with different oils at night before I go to bed. At the very top part of my head, you can see that I am basically doing light finger coils or finger curls, so that way the top part can stay moisturized. The top part of your hair is the first to get really frizzy, so I want to make sure all of that is defined. I'm going to clip that back and do the same thing to the other side of my hair. All right, we are done with the styling part. I'm just going in, doing some touch-ups, fixing things that need to be fixed, finger coiling where I can, adding more product where I feel like I need it to be added. And then we go to the piece de resistance. So my final step is I put foaming mousse in my hair. This is what locks in all of my moisture. For this video, I only had Shea Moisture's curl mousse. It's cool, but it isn't my A1. My A1 is my Design Essentials curling mousse. It is amazing. It is holding, it's moisturizing. But for this video, the only thing that I had available is the Shea Moisture one, and it got the job done, but I definitely do feel the difference. So I get a very generous amount of mousse on my hand, and the first place I go to is, you guessed it, the back of my head and at the top. I like to focus focus on the places that frizz out the most for me. And basically all that this mousse does is it seals in all of the hard work that you do. It's like if you were painting your nails, you do a base coat, then you put the color in, and then you have to do a top coat. This is just like top coat, but it is so magical, and I'm telling you, it changes your hair game. Like it just gives it a different shine. It pulls everything together. I love it so much. Now I use a foam mousse instead of the one that you shake up and it's in the can. It kind of has the consistency of shaving cream. I use this one instead because it's water-based. The other ones leave your hair really crunchy, or there's way too much perfume in it, and I just really love the way that the foam actually sets my hair up rather than the other one. And now the part I hate most, diffusing my hair. This is a Paul Mitchell blow dryer, and I like it because it has different settings. I always put my settings on high speed, low heat to cool heat. I never ever go past low heat. I don't do no medium. It's always low. I start at the top part of my head so that my roots can dry. Take my time. I don't mess up or disturb any of the curls. And, turn on some Netflix and just wait a second until you feel like you can start dipping that diffuser up and down in the curls. Okay, so I promise I'm not being sponsored by Paul Mitchell in this video, but they just have some really good products. The Rare Marula Oil hairspray, it's very light. I spray this in my hair not halfway through, but maybe if I've been blow drying my hair for maybe about like 5 or 10 minutes once I've gotten to the roots, I spray this around my ends just a little bit. It's a very light spray and you don't need a lot. So after I spray this, I continue diffusing my hair for the rest of the 74 hours I have to do it. I now start scrunching my hair with the diffuser. I'm sure you guys have seen this a million times, whether it was on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You guys know how this goes. You start from the bottom, work your way up. You hold it there for a little bit, not long enough so that you burn your scalp, but just long enough so that way you feel like it's gotten enough heat. Remember to keep moving that blow dryer around. You don't want to concentrate any amount of heat, whether it's warm or not, on your hair for too long. You don't want to stress it out. I start flipping my hair to give it some volume as well as to make sure that it has movement, because if you kind of just keep it there, it'll just set itself up in that same shape. So you want to make sure that you constantly try to keep moving your hair, but not disturbing the curls at the same time. Once I feel around on my head and make sure it's about 80 to 90% dry and the curls are pretty much set, I take the nozzle off and I start just blow drying my hair so that way it can get within all the little nooks and crannies. That way everything is dry. Again, my setting is on cool to warm. I never put it past any of those temperatures. If you do that, you start damaging your hair, causing way too much heat, giving it too much stress. Once your hair is finally done drying, you can put it up in a pineapple with whatever you have and what's best for your hair. I like to use a really big bobo or a headband because I don't want my hair to be too tight or else it'll flatten out the curls. I put my big bonnet on and I head to bed. Alright, so it is the next day. My hair is fully dry. It is fully there and done. It's gonna take a little bit of time for it to kind of like volumize itself. I was just talking about this. I don't pick my hair out too much anymore because if you pick it out too early in the process, and like by the time like day 6 comes around, it'll have like my hair a tangled mess. Sometimes I'll like fluff it up a little bit, especially if I'm going out or something, but I'm not going anywhere. I don't need to do that. That is pretty much it. If you guys want to see a makeup tutorial from me or what I do with my hair on a day-to-day basis, please comment below. Please like and subscribe if you like all of the content that I've been putting up as of recently. And yeah, I'll catch you guys the next time. I love you guys so much. Bye. Mwah. Oh, I almost forgot like one thing. Do you think I should dye my hair? Because I've been having this itch to dye my hair. And when I say dye my hair, I don't mean like a regular color. I mean like blue, purple, pink. Like, should I do it? Should I do it? Okay, now I'm done. I'm for real done this time.